So, little video on a little bit on the post that I put up the other day. So I was talking about how, a bit cliche, but you're not fat, you have fat. And someone said that, and this works for some people, I won't, don't get me wrong, but someone was saying that actually placing blame, and I didn't like that word, on the overweight person. So you're in this position, you got yourself in this position, it's your fault. And that we should do that. And I would argue that actually it's more important to give them the element of control. So yes, you are in this position, yes, we want to change that, but you're very much in control and you can do that. And it's more about empowering them to do that rather than almost guilt associated with weight gain. And actually it's mad because I've been writing something about genetics recently, and it just sort of makes you think, so the factors that drive us to be overweight, we are predisposed to be overweight in this environment. Food is readily available, and certain genes actually make you more predisposed to overeat. So, your average overweight person is really working against their own genetic drive, their instinctive drive to eat, which is powering that. And a place sort of guilt and shame around that is, it's you're in this position, but you've got the power to change that, rather than you're in this position and
in fact you got yourself there and what you're doing to yourself.
Why the hell did you do that?
I think a lot of people would say genetics is not involved. Well, it is. I think it's a big part of it as well. Like you said, a lot of people have those genes in them already, which cause them to overeat. So
it predisposes you. There's specifically the FTO gene, which is probably the most well-known obesity-associated gene. People who have two copies of that gene, so one from their mum and one from their dad, have higher levels of ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone. So they're constantly more hungry, and that also when I imagine, I've not been genetically tested, but I imagine I probably don't carry two copies of that gene. And my ghrelin response is probably quite normal, and that would be that it increases before a meal, so it drives me to eat, and then once I've eaten it reduces, so it reduces my hunger, and I feel more satiated, and then I stop eating. In people who have two copies of that response doesn't work so well, so you've got this, not only do they have a higher drive to eat all the time, but when they do eat, their response to that should be reduced hunger, but it's not responding in the right way.
Meaning you do eat more.
Exactly.
Weight gain. And definitely. I feel it is quite.
The main misconception, which I think is what you were getting at, is that I'm saying that genetics plays a huge, a big part, or potentially maybe not a big part, but it plays a part.
Yes, a part.
But people jump on that and they think, right, I'm fat because of my genetics, or I'm overweight because of my genetics. No, you're still eating more. That it's not that you're storing calories that aren't there because of your genetics. You've still consumed and not expended those calories.
It's gone back to that sense of you being in control of what you're doing. If you know, let's say, if you don't get, we're not trying to say go get gene tested for this gene.
Yeah, and I guess that's the other thing. People are like, because there are these genetic tests available now, and should you be doing them? I don't think it's of benefit to know that you have these genes. You'll sort of almost know, I'm always hungry. I never feel full after meals.
Well, that's because of my genes. I feel like people would, if they did these gene tests, they would use it as an excuse.
But it's more you get the results. So yes, you have got the FTO, double copy of the FTO gene. You are predisposed to being overweight. Does that really benefit you? Then you know you're going to have to work harder. But probably doesn't tell you much, because if you've always struggled with weight gain, you probably are in that position. You're just going to have to work harder.
Like I said, it goes back to that sense of controlling everything. Again, you have to control both factors of exercise and your eating. If you know you're going to eat more, then obviously essentially you're going to have to exercise more. But the blame associated with it.
Back to the actual point we were making. I guess
it's a weird one.
And for some people that works. Some people you're tough love works, and it's you're overweight, you got yourself in this position, do something
And then
about
that
it.
will drive them to be like, right, okay, I need to watch what I'm eating today. I'll exercise that a little bit extra. But a lot of people go away from that and be like, you know, shit, like
Or
my
you feel
trainer,
guilty for getting yourself in that position. That's not the message that we want. We want to be like, you've got the control to change this, and here are the tools, and I'm going to help you.
Yeah. Again, like, as a trainer, we're not here to give you the trouble. We're here to make you stay accountable. And again,
but it's like the judging as well. Like, I do not judge any.
Yeah.
I guess that's part of the reason I brought the genetics up. Like, I understand that, like, in the environment that we're in, like, staying in shape and like not being overweight is actually quite hard. Like, we're driven to do that, and no one's going to judge you for coming to, for being overweight. Like, the fact that you've come to a trainer and you've said, I want to lose weight, like,
probably taking a bigger step than most people have.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone's at different stages of that. So regardless of how big you are or fat you are or how your fat percentage, your content, whatever, just take home that you are in control of it. You're in control of, if you're going to sit there and do nothing, sit in your arse and eat X amount of foods, Ben and Jerry's, crisps, sweets, and like that, then obviously yes, what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. And if you know you're going to do an exercise, then yes, so you are in control.
It's the ease of the availability as well. Like,
So
one of the guys from Propane, shout out to Propane Fitness, he was saying that, how easy would it be? Like, there's no muffin near me, but it would be so easy for me to go and get a muffin right now, and I'd burn about 10 calories doing it, maybe a little bit more, based on metabolic rate and all that. But the point is, like, not even that long ago, like 100 years ago, you have to go get flour, eggs, milk, probably have to walk quite far to get them, then have to bake it, put it in the oven, you'd be you wouldn't just be like, oh, there's a muffin, I'll have it. Like, it's an effort to do all that.
And now it's just like,
what we're really talking about in terms of genetics is thousands of years ago, when you really had to work to get your food.
Yeah, your food was
but now limited. You don't need to expend energy to get food.
A lot of people just drive it, a 5-minute drive, you're at Tesco's. You're not going to burn much walking around Tesco's, are you? Finding what you need.
McChicken nugget. Might edit that.
I really want you to do that again.
Should we finish on that?
Yes. So take home, stay in control of it.
Don't eat chicken nuggets. Or if you do, run to McDonald's.
That's exactly.
And make sure you live like good sort of
few miles.
Marathons distance away.
Because you'll get to burn off 2 nuggets.